right, welcome back to Crypto Front. This is the front line where we are fighting together side by side for financial freedom. Let's take a look at the JASMY price chart once again, because yeah, JASMY is caught up in the mess that we are seeing with the equity market is today. In the last 24 hours, it really has been a crazy time. Trump was announcing tariffs and all that. I mean, I think you've already known the story at this point. You can already see the headlines left, right, and center are indicating that, you know, big companies, even like Bank of America, down 11% today, and Morgan Stanley 9.2%, Nike 14%. These are really big numbers. And totally, the stock market today only has raised about $3 trillion in terms of value. And a lot of people are saying that this is like, you know, as big as it was back in the 2020 COVID crash, but we'll see how that actually turns out to be. And also, there's something that is very familiar happening by the which we are seeing that the oil prices have also actually gone down by a significant amount here. We can see that there is something like 7%. So what is happening is that global markets are anticipating somewhat of a recession, and what we know that in a recession, like the economy is basically slow, right? So even oil prices are, you know, bracing for something like that. So we'll see how that plays out. But coming back here to the JASMY price, at which obviously at this point, whatever is happening is not directly related to the project. Maybe if we get something like a Binance delisting, or maybe that can be something that is directly related to JASMY. But up until this point, everything is just collateral damage happening just across the board. So JASMY is now approaching a little bit of a support level here that we can see was a resistance back in the day in 2023 and 2022. So we never backtested this level actually, and now it appears that we are approaching towards that level. So let me just cut that nice and easy. That will be right around 0.008, right at this the top part here, and then the lower part will be right around 0.0072 in terms of the dollar value here for JASMY. Now we're still far from that, and I've never seen anything like this here. About 13-14 weeks straight in the bread, and I would say that it's too late to sell JASMY if I would be considering selling, and I also think that it's too early to be buying. So what I would think here is that I would wait for the price to get back into the zone here, right around 0.008, and also just take a look at how the global markets are reacting to that, because I think that when we take a look at the macro here, for example, if we look at Ethereum, there is nothing bullish right here. Let's just be honest, right? But I know that long term for sure, moments like this have actually turned out to be fine. Just remember just what we have been talking about. We are saying that the stock market is actually plummeted, the worst that it has ever done in the last 4 years, right? So that presents an opportunity if you are somebody who knows what you are doing. But here, the truth is, when these opportunities have been presented, nobody has been willing to take it, right? So take a look at this, right? This was the bottom of the bear market here for Ethereum back in 2022. And I remember here, nobody wanted to touch the whole thing because there was the FTX collapse and banks were collapsing by then. And there was the Luna crash and a whole bunch of different other things. Even if you go back to 2020, right, for Ethereum right there, this was the best moment to buy, but nobody had the courage to do that right there. So I think this is also where we are here with JASMY today. And the rest of the crypto market, we have had like a major shakeup in the macro. And because of that, a lot of people are scared. But I think the situation can get resolved in a very short space of time. And then, you know, from there, we can still see the market continue to push towards the upside. I think that, yeah, it's very normal that market crashes, you know, 50%, 40%, 80%, even for some of these altcoins, and still be able to turn bullish at some point. Because, I mean, believe it or not, JASMY is actually up more than 250% from the bottom that it was setting maybe 2 years ago. You can see that right there. So it's one of those things where people who have got conviction are going to be the ones who are going to start deploying capital when we head into the support levels here for JASMY. But for the rest, I think it's just a matter of saying, okay, yeah, it's too late to sell. It's also too early to buy. So what am I going to do? I'm just going to suck it in, right? And wait for somewhat of a retrace that can come out of the support level here. Maybe if the price can reach again something like 2.5, 2.6 cents, then some people will be exiting by there. Because you also have to understand that the market really just doesn't go down in a straight line like that. It's much like down and then we retrace, then you go up again, down like that. I mean, just take a look at this for reference sake. You see, when we crashed from 33 cents all the way down to something here, I would say maybe, what was that? Maybe 1 cent, basically. This was like a 97% drop. But with that also brought somewhat of a retrace of somewhere around 460%. So I would still think that what is more likely here for JASMY to do is when it gets to support levels here around the 0.08 cents and maybe all the way to something like 0.00777 or 0.72, we would have somewhat of a relief rally, right? Maybe something like a 200%, 250%. Again, we have to look at what the macro is like, because this is where really markets are being driven. But for JASMY, it's just like collateral damage at this point. So yep, we are sitting on those levels where anything can happen right now, but I would think that it's too early to be considering this as support, because I still think that this level here is still needed to be back tested. We never did that ever since we broke out of this level. So yeah, we'll see how the whole thing goes. And also considering that what is happening in markets right now is something that is really major. I don't think it's something that you can fix in a space of like a day or two, and I think it's going to continue for some time. Maybe more like sideways action, but we know what happens with small caps, right? If you have got sideways action, it's meant, but you know, for the most part, you are actually continuously going to the downside. But maybe I'm sounding a little bit pessimistic by this point, but still there's a way we can still make money in these difficult conditions. Earlier today, I was actually posting and communicating with Patreon members in the Discord group. We had a short trade here for JASMY. I think it was up something like 120%, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, it's still possible to be making gains. These are some of the trades that we have taken over the last few months, and Pi, XCN, BNX, a whole bunch of different trades that we have taken. And yeah, it actually has been paying to be pessimistic, which is really interesting. But whatever the case may be, so for this kind of trade, at least if you are interested, I think you can feel free to check the link that is going to be down there in the description. And then of course, you can, if you're on X, you can feel free to take a look at the pinned post that is going to be there on my profile, and you can be able to find the link to our Discord group. So that's all I have here for JASMY. I think that it's way less to sell here, and I also think that it's too early to be buying anything, because you also don't want to be the person who says I want to buy the exact bottom. I think it's something that is almost impossible to do, very much impossible actually. Difficult moments in the market everywhere, and we just have to wait and see here. In my opinion, I think there's still more pain to come, but maybe not as much as what we've already witnessed over the last few weeks here, because I mean, how much worse can it get, right? So heading into support levels here for JASMY, this is going to be the main focus as we go forward, and we're looking for that retrace at least for the price to push back. And maybe if people are going to be jumping ship, maybe they can do that. It's a better loss right than selling right here. This would be my opinion, to be honest with you. But I want to kindly ask you to help me spread the video by delicately tapping the like button. It really helps the YouTube algorithm, and people looking for JASMY content will now be able to find this video much more easily. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, and because I do TA on JASMY and a number of other different altcoins on a regular basis. If you're also an X, I think you can also help with the algorithm. I'll see you on the next one. Take really good care of yourselves. Bye bye.
Be a better life, one came for the price, listen to me tonight.